November 16, 2021. And Madam Clerk, roll call and posting of the agenda.
Councilmember Lopez. Councilmember Lopez, you are muted.
Councilman Lopez, you're on mute.
Here, sorry about that.
Councilmember Madrigal.
Here.
Councilmember Perillo.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem McDonald.
Here.
Mayor Zaragoza.
Here.
Thank you. We have quorum.
Okay.
The posting of the agenda. The agenda for this meeting was posted in the City Hall Bulletin Board on November 4th, 2021. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Madam Clerk. At this time, it's public comments, and we don't have any speakers at this time, but Mr. City Attorney, we can go into the 3 minutes, and then is there anything you'd like to share at this time?
Yes, thank you, Mayor.
So, 3 minutes, Madam Clerk.
So the public can call in if they wish to comment on the closed session items. The dial-in number is 805-276-4238. And you'll have 3 minutes to do so and be recognized. And then we will go into closed session. And the closed session items, council is recessing into closed session pursuant to Government Code Section 54956.9, subsection D1, to confer with its attorneys. The matters being discussed are Jose Alvarez et al., the City of Oxnard, and Aaron Starr, the Rose Chaparro. The council will also recess to a closed session pursuant to Government Code Section 54956.9, subdivision D2. Based on existing facts and circumstances, there is significant exposure to litigation against the city in one potential case regarding a claim for utility payment refund or credit filed by Dandy Cooling Company. And once the 3 minutes has expired, we'll check and see if any speakers registered.
Okay, we have another minute and a half or so, if there's any speakers, and we'll take them at that time, during this time, or that time. And Madam Clerk, we do have a Constance Basua join us. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. So, Madam Clerk, we don't have any additional speakers, and Mr. City Attorney, then we'll be going into a closed session, and we'll be back at 5:30 for the appointments items.
That's correct.
Thank you. Going to closed session. Okay, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're at a closed session, and Mr. City Attorney, do we have any items to report?
Thank you, Mayor. There are no actions to report out of closed session this evening. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next item is appointment item, and this is Culture and Community Service Department. And the subject is Oxnard Performing Arts and Convention Center report. And the recommendation is that the City Council receive the annual report from Sterling Venue Adventures and the Oxnard Performing Arts Center Management. This did not originate in the committee, so we, under Measure M, there was a pre-recorded presentation on this item, and Terrell Harrison.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, City Council. I am excited, and I'm still excited about the agreement that we signed in February 2020 with Sterling Venue Ventures.
Terrell, we do have a speaker on this item. You want to hear the speaker first or make your presentation?
We could hear the speaker first if you would like, Mr.
Why
Mayor.
don't we do that? We have Manuel Herrera as our speaker on this item. Manuel Herrera, three minutes.
Mr. Herrera, you may unmute by pressing *6.
Hello.
Hi, Mr. Herrera, you have 3 minutes to speak. Thank you.
Okay, I'm sorry, I'm getting a huge echo. Hello.
Hi, Mr. Herrera, you have 3 minutes to speak. Thank you. Might you have a
Sorry, I'm getting
TV on or a
can I
radio?
can I call back?
Yes, you can.
Yeah.
There's a time delay. Turn off your computer and TV.
Can I call back?
Yes, you can.
There's a time delay. Turn off your computer and TV.
Okay, Mr. Herrera, we'll get you right after. Go ahead, Mr. Harrison.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, City Council. Like I was saying, in February 2020, we were really excited because we were excited to hear everything that Sterling Venue Ventures had in moving forward and moving the Performing Arts Center forward. Although we got slowed down because of COVID, Lance Sterling, the CEO of Sterling Venue Ventures, still maintain excitement by doing some events outdoors. And he has big plans coming up for the future. So I would like to go ahead and turn it over to Lance Sterling, the CEO of Sterling Venue Ventures.
Okay, Lance. Lance, you're on mute.
Oh, I got it. I am sometimes with my business, I still become inept when it comes to technology. So we at Sterling Venue Ventures we're super excited about being in Oxnard. And of course, we all know what happened with the pandemic. And it kind of knocked us off our heels for a little bit, not to mention we operate 9 other concert venues in Southern California. So during the pandemic, we tried to maintain and create some activity by doing reggae nights, comedy in your cars, Manad tributes, Guns N' Roses, Little Willie, Queen tributes, and we did probably close to 30 carpool concerts. Even though we didn't make any money on the concerts, we thought that it was really good for the community and it brought a lot of people in. So coming out of the pandemic, so far we've done the Spinners, Pink Floyd tribute, English Beat, Bones, Suggs and Harmony, Journey tribute, Dionne Warwick, Louis C.K., Cirque Musica, Lisa, and Lou Gramm. He's the original singer for Foreigner. Concerts coming up, we have the Daz Band, Righteous Brothers, George Lopez, Tierra Mahalo, Dokken, Baby Bash, Diamond Escobar, Three Midnighters, Jose Feliciano, and my personal favorite is on New Year's Eve, we're presenting War. As we are coming out of the pandemic, we seem to be in all of the 9 venues around Southern California. We're about 60% off in ticketing. And we hope to see that come back around in the next 6 months. But as always, because we did not operate the Oxnard Performing Arts Center, we did not qualify for the SVOG for Oxnard. But we have invested quite a bit of money on bringing everything up to speed with a sound system, lighting. We're currently trying to, we've purchased new video displays that should be going up in the next couple weeks. And I'm here for any questions. I know we prepared a video presentation. I don't know if someone wants to play that.
Errol? Yeah, okay. Why don't we take the public comment? Manny, are you ready to share for 3 minutes?
Mr. Herrera, you may unmute by pressing *6. Manuel Herrera, please unmute by pressing *6.
Okay, he's probably not ready, huh? Okay, so then let's go ahead and play the radio, the video. Mhm. Okay, so what we're gonna do then is we have no other speakers other than the current speaker. We council members have any questions, and we'll allow the 3 minutes for additional speakers to register during this time. So go ahead and start the video, and we'll start the 3 minutes. Thank you. Mhm.
Sterling Venue Ventures plans for the inaugural year at the Oxnard Performing Arts Center were interrupted by COVID-19. But even a worldwide pandemic couldn't stop us. When government shutdowns put the kibosh on indoor concerts, we took it to the parking lot. And the patio. We didn't make any money, but we sure made a lot of friends. We finally got back inside in June and have since welcomed the Spinners, Dionne Warwick, Louis C.K., Lou Gramm of Foreigner, Asia, the Cirque Musica Holiday Spectacular, and more, and that's just the beginning. We've got a great lineup on the horizon with artists like the Righteous Brothers, George Lopez, Jose Feliciano, War, Tommy Emmanuel, Michael Feinstein, Buddy Guy. We've even got a special presentation of The Price is Right live on tap for January. Our talent buyers are working daily to confirm new shows like The Temptations, Lyle Lovett, Tower of Power, and numerous others. We're dedicated and well on the way toward making the Oxnard Performing Arts Center a vibrant epicenter of the city that will spur continued growth for area businesses now and in the future. Get ready, Oxnard. 2022, here we come.
Thank you so much. That's excellent, excellent video. Excellent video. It's really fascinating. So we do we have a manual up yet? Because I know the 3 minutes are up, Madam Clerk.
Manuel Herrera. Please unmute by pressing *6. Sure.
Okay, let me see. We have,
Okay, we're going to try a different method to reach the public commenter.
mhm. Yeah, we'll get, I have Mayor Pro Tem and Bert, while we're waiting for Mayor Pro Tem.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just wanted to compliment the effort at the Performing Arts Center, and especially moving to the outside concert venue. I think that was thinking outside the box. And probably the only thing I would ask, and this is from living about 5 blocks away and having a 2-story house, the concerts were fine. I enjoyed the music, but sometimes the sound checks in the afternoon were a little unnerving when they're trying to dial stuff in. So I would just ask that if you do stuff outside, just try and be cognizant that you're in a fairly densely populated area, and I know you are, but as we move through this, it'll get dialed in. So thank you for all your efforts.
Thank you so much. Councilman Perillo.
I want to compliment Mr. Sterling and the PAC and the organization of the city. As a former member of the PAC board, when the council members were on it, it's come a long way, and I'm hoping for great things, and I believe the community is going to support. Listening to KNX News Radio in Los Angeles, I heard Mr. Sterling's organization and the city of Oxnard's PAC advertised on the radio this morning. So expecting good things. Best of luck for all of us.
Thank you. And Mr. Sterling, yeah, thank you so much. I think you have a great line of entertainers that are going to come in to help us here in Oxnard and help the entertainment world, the city of Oxnard. Do we have many yet, Madam Clerk? Okay, so let me see.
Mr. Mayor, he did put a comment in the chat room asking someone to call him on his home phone number. To see
Yeah,
if he
they're doing it now. Thank you. So Mr. Harrison, you want to add anything to while we're waiting for Manny here? I know they're doing an excellent job, and that playing outside at the parking lot was great, you know.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, I want.
Okay. Mhm.
Hello, Mr. Mayor.
Yeah,
Yes,
go
I'm
ahead.
back.
Uh-huh.
So yes, Mr. Mayor, I also want to congratulate Mr. Sterling and Sterling Venue Ventures, because, my biggest fear was, we have this wonderful opportunity and then COVID hits.
Right.
My first question to Lance was, are you going to give up on us?
Yeah.
And he said firmly, no, I'm in it with you guys. I'm there for the long haul. As a matter of fact, we're going to do some things that really aren't going to make us any money, but I just want people to know that we're here. And, some of the digital signage that he's speaking of is also going to help with that.
You're right.
But there's a lot of ideas, and really, if you look at all Mr. Sterling's venues that he operates, some of the acts that he has, it's really
Right.
big city type of acts, and to have
Agreed.
the opportunity to have those for our residents, have them here, really excited. I said I was going to bring my mother to Dionne Warwick. I did not do that, and I got in a lot of trouble for that.
Yeah.
So hopefully he's going to have her back.
So we want to thank Mr. Sterling. That's really commendable that he stayed with us, like many other venues. across, California and the US with this pandemic. We commend you, Mr. Sterling, and thank you so much for staying with us. So, Madam Clerk, then we can probably pick up Mr. Herrera later on.
We do have a few other callers, Mayor.
A few other callers. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Becky Haydox. Hi, Becky. Did you have a public comment on our current item on the agenda?
I did not. Sorry, popping in for something later. Thanks.
Thank you.
Okay.
Do we have another speaker? Okay.
Corey Branchflower, are you calling in for the current item on the agenda?
Oh, no, I'm so sorry. I was just calling in because I got a link and I was trying to figure out where we're supposed to be.
Thank you. So any other speakers, Madam Clerk?
Yes.
Okay.
Drew Rodriguez.
No, I'm here for another item on the agenda. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Loretta Montgomery,
Yes.
are you calling in for the current item on the agenda?
No, I'm actually waiting for the Community Relations Award ceremony.
Okay.
But we're not able to, get pipe in or see ourselves or whatever, but we're here.
We're almost there. Mhm.
Almost
Okay,
there.
I'm
Thank
just-
you. Mayor, it seems the rest of the speakers are here for other items.
Okay, well, thank you so much. We've already reached our 3-minute waiting period already to start off with. So I'm going to start out the ceremonial opening ceremonial, and we can have the Pledge of Allegiance and also the salute to our flag. And before we continue, I'd like to share with you that council members and staff members of the audience, please join me in a moment of silence for the numerous people that we've lost due to the COVID-19. And also, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like you to include my brother, Edward Zaragoza, who passed away just a couple of days ago due to COVID-19. And on a personal basis, I'd like to share with people, please get your shots, inoculations, save lives, save the lives of your families and other members. Thank you so much for that. And so please join me for the salute to our flag and a moment of silence.
The flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God,
One nation.
with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Okay, before I continue, let me read, this is instructions for live public comments after opening the ceremonies. This meeting is being held in accordance with Assembly Bill 361, allowing members of the City Council and members of the public and staff to participate via teleconference. The instructions on how the public may participate in this meeting are provided on the opening agenda, as well as the city website, oxnard.org /city meetings /. Members of the public who did not request to speak prior to the 3 p.m. cutoff may do so during the meeting by dialing 888-475-4499 and entering the meeting and ID password found in the meeting agenda. You'll be placed in a Zoom waiting room. While in the Zoom waiting room, once I have called for public speakers for the agenda item on which you wish to speak, press *9 to raise your hand and inform the clerk you'd like to speak during that agenda item. The clerk will unmute you then, and when you time to speak, press *6 to unmute your phone. Speakers have up to 3 minutes to speak on each agenda item. All public speakers that have signed up for a particular item have been given the opportunity to speak. The public comment period for that item shall be held open for 3 minutes to allow any additional speakers to register or otherwise be recognized for the purpose of providing public comment. During the 3 minutes time period, the city council or staff may discuss the item being considered. In the event, ladies and gentlemen, of disruption, which prevents the council from broadcasting the meeting using a call-in option or internet-based option, or another event of disruption within the city council control, which prevents members of the public from offering public comment using the call-in option or internet-based service option, the council shall take no further action on the item appearing on the meeting agenda until the public access or meeting via call-in option or internet-based service option is restored. However, if any of the broadcast options are disrupted, but any other than broadcast option is still available to the public, the council may take further action on this item appearing on the item agenda without waiting for a disrupted broadcast option to be restored. Thank you for that. And so our next item is a presentation of the Annual Community Relations Commission Recognition Award. And we have Mr. Adam Lopez, the chair of the Community Relations Commission, that's going to share with us some of the recipients. Adam Lopez.
Good evening, Mayor. Can you hear me loud and clear?
Yes, sir. Mhm.
Well, good evening, Mayor Zaragoza and esteemed City Council members. As chair of the Community Relations Commission for the City of Oxnard, it is my honor, my pleasure tonight to present to you and for all of us, and I know there's many listeners on the call, the annual awards. Unfortunately, last year, for obvious reasons, we did not have these awards. However, we felt that there was a need to resume this year for the simple reason that during the pandemic last year, there was many individuals, many organizations, many agencies, many businesses that, stepped forward and lent a hand for the community, for the underserved, for the underprivileged. So tonight, I'm going to be recognizing individuals in 4 different categories. We have outstanding senior citizen, we have outstanding individual, we have outstanding business, and we have outstanding community-based organization. And I would like to say that last night during our monthly CRC meeting, Vice Chair Stallion also recognized these individuals, and these individuals had an opportunity to accept the award and share some words. Obviously tonight, for time constraints, we will not do that. I will just be recognizing and naming the winner. So for the first category, Outstanding Senior, our first recipient is Cynthia Morales, and she was nominated by Reverend Melissa Campbell Langdo. So Cynthia Morales was our awardee for the category of Outstanding Senior. And the second recipient in this category is Joanne E. Hatcher, nominated by Regina Crawford. So I want to make a note to everybody that Cynthia Morales and Joanne E. Hatcher are the 2 recipients of this year's Outstanding Senior for Community Recognition Awards. The second category we have is Outstanding Individual. For this category, we only have 1 nominee and awardee, and the winner or the awardee is Corey Branchflower. He's nominated by Joan Lucas. And again, want to make a note to everybody that Corey Branchflower was selected the recipient of this year's Community Recognition Awards, nominated by Joanne Lucas. It's a she, Corey Branchflower. She is a recipient of this year's award. The third category is Outstanding Business. We have 2 awardees. So the first one is Master Tony Nunez, nominated by Daniel Chavez Jr. Master Tony Nunez, nominated by Daniel Chavez Jr., is the first recipient of the Outstanding Business category. The second recipient of this award goes to the Port of Hueneme, nominated by Becky Haycox. Again, that is the Port of Hueneme. So the 2 recipients of this category, Outstanding Business, is Master Tony Nunez and Port of Hueneme. The last and final category is Outstanding Community-Based Organization. And we have 2 recipients again for this one. The first one is Shelter Care Resources, nominated by Pastor Lance Ralston of Calvary Chapel. Again, that's Shelter Care Resources. The second awardee is Martin Luther King Jr. Committee of Ventura County, nominated by Jonathan Horton. Again, that's Martin Luther King Jr. Committee of Ventura County. And I did see a note there, Mayor, that they were not able to log in on the link for some reason. but we
Mm.
definitely want to recognize them as well. So those
Thank
are
you.
all the recipients of this year's Community Relations Recognition Awards. On behalf of myself, Vice Chair Stallion, Commissioner Durias, Commissioner Gonzalez, Commissioner Paniagua, and Commissioner Tiffany Lopez, we want to congratulate every single nominee and every single recipient for this award. They have made a difference. They've had an impact. They have reached out and made a difference with underserved, underprivileged communities, especially during the pandemic. So we wish everybody a well-deserved congratulatory message today during this meeting. And I would also like to say that we are going to be hosting a very small reception for these awardees, so we can hand them personally the certificate and the well-deserved recognition for these awards. So that is all we have for tonight, Mayor and City Council.
And thank you so much. And I just also want to commend all the recipients, for the different categories. And volunteerism is really important to all of us in the community. And to have individuals like, I'm going to get in trouble, like Hatcher and Morales and the Port of Wanimi, agencies and businesses that really have helped the community, bridge the community, especially with the pandemic, with food and help and assistance. But Adam, I want to thank you and thank you, all the members of the Community Relations Commission. And I know that Martha Guillen, also from my staff, mentioned that we're going to have a little reception and to hand out the certificates in person, and I think that's going to be great.
I would
So,
also like to, sorry, Mayor,
go
I would like to just clarify, because there's always a question behind this. We did receive many nominations. Like you said, we would like to recognize all the nominees for these awards in these categories. And second, I just wanted to say that this goes through a voting process, the selection process. We read all the nominations, the accomplishments. So it's done in a very professional way, the process, the right way. And we thank Martha Guillen for helping us through that process. So with that, thank you so much, Mayor Zaragoza. Thank you, esteemed City Council, and everybody listening, and all the recipients, nominees, and whoever nominated as well. Thank you so much.
So consequently, we don't have any speakers that time, but we're going to start our 3 minutes. But we do have Councilman. Excuse me. We're going to start our 3 minutes right now.
The attendee list. Maybe we can move him to the panelist list so
Mayor,
he can make his comments.
We do have a list of callers, people
We
that have
do have a
called
list
in.
of callers, okay?
Yes.
But we'll start off, Councilman Perrello.
Yes, a lot of people think that the CAGs are, put it mildly, a waste of effort. I do not believe that. The people that volunteer in the CAGs and what comes out of the CAGs, the Citizen Advisory Group, the people that serve on those committees do not get the recognition that they should from council members or from the residents. Mr. Lopez, thank you very much for your service and your board, and the awards that you have given. If there can be something of a photograph of the individuals, I'm sure the city could put it on the website and at least give the residents the award winners some sort of recognition that way. It's not much, but I think that we should be able to do that. We have skilled, talented staff, and we've got photographers, and I hope you'll consider that. And again, thank you to all CAG members, but thank you specifically for your report and the efforts that you guys put in. Thank you.
And we'll definitely take some photos when we do the little reception, and share those photos. I think it's extremely important. That's a very, very good recommendation. So, Madam Clerk, we have some speakers, you said. Go ahead.
Corey Branch Flower.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not calling in. I was just here because I was one of the community relations winners, and I was just in here.
Okay, so you're just listening.
Mm-hmm.
We're done now, right?
Thank you. We have other speakers, Madam Clerk.
Drew Rodriguez.
Yes, thank you. Good evening, Mayor Zaragoza, esteemed council members and members of the Community Relations Commission. My name is Drew Rodriguez. I'm the Community Outreach Specialist at the Port of Hueneme, and I want to thank you all for this amazing recognition. And I truly appreciate being able to work alongside some exceptional people, especially those mentioned today, making a difference in our community. Fortunately, there's some exceptional leadership and direction at the port, including from our Board of Harbor Commissioners and senior leadership and everyone at the port. Through our community outreach efforts, we've been able to create a real social enterprise during this time of great local need, whether it's food distribution, backpack drives, beach cleanups, and so many more. This couldn't be done without some of the amazing partnerships, supporters, and customers at the port. And we hope to continue doing some of this amazing local community work. And we hope to grow not only as a port, but as an entire community and region here. So once again, thank you all for the recognition and congratulations to all those who were recognized. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Mhm.
Miss Larita Montgomery?
Yes.
Yes, thank you. Would you like to speak on this item?
No, Madam Clerk, I was here actually for the Community Relations Awards. And I just like to thank, while I'm here talking,
Yes, please, go ahead. You have 3 minutes to
right.
speak.
Oh, I won't be that long, but thank you so much. To the mayor, city council,
Mhm.
I'm Larita Ayers Montgomery, chairperson of the Martin Luther King Committee of Ventura County. And we like to thank the Community Relations Commission for all that they do for our community and also for the award that we have received. It is truly an honor. And I'd like to lastly invite all of you to our January 17th, 2020 event, which will be our 36th annual celebration of Dr. Martin Luther King. And we'll be sending you notifications through Martha and all the others. And we look forward to having your support continually. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, and we'll participate. Thank you. Mhm.
Mr. Manuel Herrera, can you hear me?
Yes, hello.
Thank you. You have 3 minutes to speak. Thank you for calling back.
Okay, actually, I don't want to speak on this item, only because I don't want to interrupt what's going on right here with the community relations. So can I speak as soon as this item is over?
Yes.
We will do that. Thank you.
Mhm. Thank you, madam. Any other speakers, Madam Clerk?
Yes. Mr. Commissioner Hernandez?
You know what? I was not signed up for this item, but I will give quick congratulations to all those who were nominated, and congratulations to all those who won. We do see your guys' efforts, and we do see you guys moving out here. And I know personally how it is to be an organizer and a young leader in this community here. As we are all trying to do positive changes here in our community, let's remember to keep encouraging and supporting all of us and each other. Thank you, City Council. Thank you, members of the staff. Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem, and City Manager Alex Nguyen for giving me your guys' time. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Hernandez.
Mayor, those are all the speakers we have for this item.
Thank you. So
Should we-
we've also then done our 3 minutes. So thank you so much for the speakers.
Now that we're done with this item, should we allow Manuel Herrera to speak on the previous item?
Okay, Manuel?
Mr. Herrera,
Yes.
go ahead, please.
Okay, but before you start the clock, just for the record, I want to say I've been on the line. I've been pressing *6 1,000 times. I don't know what happened, but I've been here all along. It's too bad Mr. Sterling has left because I wanted him to hear this. So, okay, go ahead. You can start the clock now. My name is Manuel Herrera. I am a former board member for the Performing Arts Center. As you all know, we, the people of Oxnard, fought hard to keep the PAC open during our last budget cuts, and therefore the city decided to bring in Sterling Ventures to operate the place. Part of that deal, and the way it was sold to us, was that Sterling would sign an agreement with the city and then turn around and sign a deal with the PAC's nonprofit. Although Sterling got his agreement, it has been a year and 9 months, and he has yet to sign an agreement with the nonprofit. Why is that? Are you council members aware of this? Why hasn't the council insisted that Sterling abide to his end of the deal? As part of his annual report, Sterling paints a beautiful picture of how, in spite of COVID, things are looking rosy. Unfortunately, things aren't rosy if you're a small nonprofit or a local promoter. When we fought to save the PAC, it wasn't only so that we can have big time concert, it was mainly so that our local nonprofit dance groups, community groups, and local volunteers could have a place to hold their events. As part of this annual review, did staff consult with any local dance groups and promoters to get their feedback on how things are going at the PAC? Well, in case you didn't, I did. I talked to a few of them, and every one of them told me they no longer can afford to do business at the PAC because they have been priced out. One person told me they used to pay approximately $6,000 to put a show on at the PAC and were quoted close to $15,000 now. So what did they do? They went to the Port Hueneme Performing Arts Center and paid $6,000, half price. Another person told me that they were not allowed to use the kitchen for their funeral event because, and I quote, only Sterling can use the kitchen. A local promoter told me that after being quoted a ridiculous amount, then being told that no dates were available because Sterling had all the dates booked for his events, they ended up putting their show on at the Arlington Theater. The Arlington Theater is cheaper than the PAC? Why doesn't your annual review show how many weddings and quinceañeras were canceled, not because of COVID, but because of the ridiculous fees and liquor prices? Sterling has made the PAC his venue and pretty much priced out our local nonprofits and promoters. So I asked that the city council look into what's really happening at the PAC and why is it that this place is no longer a community place? This is not why we saved the PAC. It's time to reevaluate this agreement with Sterling and hold him and the city accountable to what was originally promised to the people of Oxnard. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, madam. Okay, our next item, we've exhausted our 3 minutes. Our next item is the presentation of proclamation designating December 1, 2021 as World AIDS Day. And we do have, I think, Pedro Chavez. Is Pedro Chavez with us? So I'm going to read this proclamation and hopefully then Pedro can accept it. This is Proclamation World AIDS Day, December 1, 2021. Whereas annually on December 1st, we commemorate the World AIDS Day and reflect upon our worldwide response to HIV/AIDS epidemic. And for this year has been especially poignant as we mark 40 years since the first 5 cases of what later became known as AIDS were officially reported, and honor the more than 36 million, including 700,000 in the United States, who have died from AIDS-related illnesses globally. And whereas the U.S. government theme for World AIDS 2021 is ending the HIV epidemic, equitable access, everyone's voice, highlighted in the Biden-Harris administration's strong commitment to ending HIV epidemic globally by addressing health inequities and ensuring the voices of people with HIV are central to all our work. Whereas in 2021, HIV/AIDS Coalition, the County of Ventura has launched a World AIDS Day collaborative, which includes a network of individuals, public health and higher education professionals, nonprofit organizations, business leaders, leading into a public awareness campaign called get20vc.org to stop the spread of HIV infections through a community, through education, awareness, and action. Whereas we recognize the collaboration of the following community partners, which is AIDS Advisory Committee to County of Ventura Board of Supervisors, HIV/AIDS Coalition of Ventura County, the Center for HIV/AIDS Services from Ventura County Public Health, the California Lutheran University Sero Health Center for Equity of Justice and Justice, the Anheuser Association, California Central Coast Chapter, Clínicas del Camino Real, Coalition of Family Harmony, Diversity Collective of Ventura County, LGBTQ plus Aging Coalition, Oxnard, LGBTQ plus Community, Pacific Clinics, the Tay Tunnel, the Planned Parenthood of California, Central Coast, who are on the forefront of fighting against this deadly disease. Where December 1 provides residents of Oxnard the opportunity to be part of the cause to eradicate HIV/AIDS and support the network of community partners, their staff, and volunteers. Now, therefore, I, John C. Zaragoza, Mayor of the City of Oxnard, do hereby proclaim December 1, 2021 as World AIDS Day in the City of Oxnard and urge all residents in our community to participate and support the posadas in honor of the World AIDS Day gathering scheduled to take place on Wednesday, December 1, starting at 7 p.m. at the Oxnard Historic Heritage Square. This inspiring program honors the lives of those who lost to AIDS and serves as a community call to all actions to stop the spread of HIV infection. And this is witness thereof by my hand, caused the great seal of the City of Oxnard to be affixed on this day of December 2021. And do we have a Mr. Pedro Chavez?
Mayor, I'm sorry, he's not available at this moment.
Okay, so Pedro, if your friends are hearing this proclamation, is going to be available for you at our city manager's office at here at City Hall tomorrow morning for you. Thank you so much. So we go into the 3 minutes, and we're starting at 3 minutes. And if we have any speaker on this item, then we can go ahead and speak on this item. Any council members, any comments on this item while waiting for the 3 minutes? Okay. Again, I think we've done a lot of progress in fighting HIV/AIDS here in the U.S. and across the world. So I'm sure that we'll have quite a few people attend this celebration here on December the 1st, starting at 7 p.m. at the Historic Heritage Squares here in Oxnard. Councilmember Perrella?
Yes, this, with respect to the AIDS thing, a little bit of history. I remember when it first made news, and I remember the president and the first lady denying it. And I remember that the government wouldn't acknowledge it. And as the numbers built up, the government came up with basically false science, as the most recent president of our country believed. It takes a long time for people to wake up and realize science matters and facts matter. And it is amazing how far it has come from what basically was thought to be a death sentence. And one of the first guys that really, in my mind, that really turned the corner was Magic Johnson. And when he came out and opened up and things, and the gentleman is still around, science matters. It did matter that he was a very fortunate individual that had the funds to take care of it. But this is something that science can tackle. And my purpose of saying that is there's no comment. I think we need not to forget when we have leadership that wants to hold their head in the sand and deny what's going on, it hurts a lot of people, innocent and non-innocent. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. And again, just to share with you, as I read here, it's 40 years ago since the first 5 cases came up and were identified as AIDS. And now there's more than 36 million. It's just, unbelievable, since and 700,000 people have died here in the U.S. since, from the AIDS-related illness, So thank you for sharing that, Councilmember Perrella. So we have another 23 seconds before to see if we have any other speakers on this item. Thank you, Madam Clerk. No other speakers.
Not at this time, Mayor.
Thank you. So our next item is item G, is public comments not on the agenda. And this where persons may address the city council on matters that do not appear on the agenda. We have a couple of speakers. We have Lucy Cartagena and Chris Hernandez. 3 minutes. Lucy. And we'll start at 3 minutes also for the additional comments, Madam Chair. Clerk. Is Lucy available? Cartagena?
Yes, she just called in. Give me
Okay.
1 moment.
Mhm.
Lucy Cartagena?
And we have our 3 minutes to go in at the same time if additional speakers want to speak after. Mhm.
Lucy Cartagena? Hi, Lucy. You
Hello?
have 3 minutes to speak.
Hi, good evening, Mayor and council members. I just wanted to touch up really quick and invite you guys to a meeting we're having on Friday with the housing. The housing department has accommodated few community members to talk about safe sleep program and to talk about a foul weather shelter. I don't know if that's been on the minds of council members or the mayor about all this weird weather and what we're going to do for the homeless. We know we have Operation Turnkey, but it doesn't quite cover everything. So we're hoping that in your mind and in your heart, you're thinking about the homeless and about solutions that the city still can implement that has yearly implemented. I know it's on Homeless Commission that they're talking about it, but that's still months away and in no progress. So we, as community leaders and members, we get frustrated with the stagnant of trying to get to one meeting to another to get to your table. Now, I know our past Mayor Pro Tem, Carmen Ramirez, and our current council member, Oscar Martigrau, used to sit on a homeless task force with key people in the city, with the police and with different people to pass resolutions. And it was because of them that the transition center is open now at the Armory. So we're hoping that somebody in the council right now will be able to sit in on the Friday meeting also, and we can move forward a safe sleep program. We know that the city, we as members ourselves shot down the last safe sleep program because it was attached to a $90,000 ticket. We want to make sure that when it comes back up the council, there is not another $90,000, $80,000 ticket to it. We want to be able to make sure that the safe sleep program is implemented, but on a volunteer basis and not for a 90-day temporary shelter. So I really, really am looking forward to one of you guys stepping up, sitting in that meeting, and really looking forward to solutions. Thank you very much. Everybody have a very nice and safe Thanksgiving, and we'll look forward to seeing you guys in December.
Excuse me, Lucy, Lucy, what time and what place?
What time is it, Lucy?
Oh, it's going to be at 10 a.m. Friday morning in Zoom. Emilio Ramirez has more information. It'll be on a Zoom meeting. So I hope you guys can be invited to it. And I hope that everybody can participate.
Thank you, Lucy. I'm sure that we'll
Thank
announce that on
you.
our website. Thank you, Lucy.
Hey,
And,
teamwork makes the dream work.
Yeah, thank you. Our next speaker is
Thank
Chris
you.
Hernandez.
It'll be on a Zoom meeting. So I hope you guys can be invited to it. And I hope that everybody can participate.
Chris Hernandez.
Hello, can you guys hear me?
Yes, we
Yes.
can. You have 3 minutes to speak.
Awesome. Good evening, City Council, Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, City staff. My name is Chris Hernandez. I'm the Vice Chair of the 5 Points Neighborhood Council. And I have partnered up with Javier Gomez and In La Catch nonprofit organization to put on an event at Oxnard College's Park to bring awareness to bicycle and road safety and gun violence amongst the youth. On November 20th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., the public is invited to enjoy a fun-filled event that will include food, vendors, music, cultural activities, and a bike ride throughout the park where riders will get a chance to show off their best moves like that we're going to have in the stunt lane. Now, this event, once again, it's to promote peace in the streets and bicycle safety awareness. We will have organizations, booths from organizations that are going to be providing either employment or outreach opportunities for our youth and families in need. We will have speakers from the Ventura County Transportation Commission. We're looking to invite the public to join us in taking a survey from the Transportation Commission to help us create safer bike lanes throughout Ventura County. We are also going to have raffles, giveaways, like we're going to be giving away turkeys. So anyone who registers at oxnardpeaceride.com, or they can go on the Instagram page Oxnard Peace Ride, can automatically sign up for the ride, and they'll automatically get a raffle ticket to get a free turkey for the event. Just a few of the organizations that are going to be in attendance is Clínicas del Camino Real, Ventura County Behavioral Health, Logrando Lo Bienestar. We're going to have the Options for Youth Charter High School that's going to be offering opportunities and educational opportunities for the youth. So once again, the event's from 10 to 4 p.m. That's going to be at Oxnard College Park this Saturday. And also on Friday, the 19th, we're asking the public to come out and help us along with Open Door Studio. We're going to be decorating the bike route. We're going to have all supplies there for everybody. So you don't need to bring anybody but a friend to help us join and decorate the art walk. So we encourage everybody, and I will be sending out an email to invite all city staff and council members along with the mayor. So I hope you guys can make it. And hopefully we can get a great outcome out of this event for everybody. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris. If there's no other speakers, then we can have staff respond to any questions or council begin any discussion in this matter. And so we can go for the 3 minutes and allow for any additional speakers to register or to be recognized before we continue.
Mayor, we do have one caller, two callers.
Callers, okay, let's go ahead.
Yeah, we do have one caller. Hello?
Yes.
Were you calling to speak on this item?
Items not on the agenda.
Items not on the agenda?
Yes.
What is your name, sir?
W.J. Snyder.
Okay, go ahead. You have 3 minutes to speak.
Yes, I'm going to speak on the behalf from Black in Oxnard.
I'm Phil Molina. I'm calling
We have some
Philip
interference.
Molina.
Who's supposed to be talking? They told me I'll mute my phone. Do I supposed to be speaking? Hello?
Mr. Snyder, you're the one that,
You're on the line, Mr. Snyder. Go ahead.
Okay, but someone else was talking. Yeah, my name is W.J. Snyder, and I'm calling references from Black in Oxnard. And we're complaining that the Oxnard housing is discriminating against us. In 2020, HUD passed a law that told everybody to stop doing inspection. And Ms. Lopez continued doing the inspection, and she granted most of the Hispanics and other people a voucher, and she did not grant a lot of Black voucher. And I'm going to refer to it's a document from HUD, the Secretary of Carson. He gave a notice that inspection will not start no sooner than September 21st, 2020. And I left an attachment at the fourth floor
this was 2020, and also the county, the county also passed a law that no more inspection to control the virus in 2020. But Mr. Lopez and Mr. Romero, they continue making the black with doing inspection over the housing. And furthermore, they never answer the people letters and stuff. And in the past, the mayor just sent a complaint over to the housing, and they never did do anything about it. So we're concerned about what's the purpose of calling in? Y'all never respond back to people call, and also respond back to people letter and complaint. We have filed a complaint with the with the claim office, and basically y'all just send it over to the housing, and they do not answer, and y'all further do not do anything. We have contacted the Justice Department, and we certainly noticed that the Justice Department said if y'all don't process these complaints, they're going to come in and be filing some lawsuit against the city. And another thing, in 2021, HUD found out that most of the inspection wasn't vaccinated, and they were giving people a virus. So they passed another law in 2000 at the HUD, this HUD level, and they got all the information. HUD stated that, number one, since the people wasn't, some of the Spanish people wasn't vaccinated, they passed a law.
Mr. Snyder, your time is up.
HUD number 21-071.
Mayor, we have one more caller on the line.
Yeah, go ahead. Mhm.
Hello? Hi, you're waiting to speak on items not on the agenda?
Yes, ma'am.
And what is your name, sir?
Ray Blattell.
Thank you. Please go ahead. You have 3 minutes.
Thank you very much. Mayor, council members, city staff, and the public, good evening. I've mentioned this before at a previous council meeting. However, either nothing was done or if some action did take place, this action was ineffective. This morning, I again dropped off my granddaughter at Thurgood Marshall School. There were 3 uniformed Oxnard police officers present at curbside. Again, I noticed multiple school children riding their bicycles without a helmet. Some of these children had helmets attached to their handlebars, but they certainly weren't wearing them as they approached the school. Some had no helmet at all. Not only is it a law that young children must wear a helmet, most importantly, it is for the safety of the child to prevent serious head injuries. When I asked the officer why they weren't approaching these young riders to correct these actions, the reply was, "That's our next project, and it's on our schedule." Since when does enforcing the laws, especially when it impacts the safety of children, depend on schedules or projects? Where do projects and schedule enter the equation in this case? If an officer observes a driver running a red light, which, by the way, I observe every day in Oxnard, especially during peak traffic hours, does project or schedule impact the officer's enforcement of California traffic laws? I certainly hope not. I only bring this to your attention again, since multiple police units were present this morning, and they obviously have 2 functioning eyes, just like I do. Therefore, I would expect laws to be enforced, especially those involving the safety of children. There is no excuse for this, project or no project, schedule or no schedule. Certainly, one of these officers could have broken away to speak to these riders. It's a very easy thing to do to reinforce the safety aspects of this law. This is for their own good, not just to fill the space in the law books. Thank you very much. Have a good evening.
Thank you so much. And I'm sure their Chief Benitez took some notes on that. Thank you for sharing. Appreciate that very much. Okay. Okay, our next item is a report from the city manager.
We just
Oh, I'm
received-
sorry, we have one more.
Whoop, they hung up.
I'm sorry. Okay.
We're good. We're done.
Okay. Okay, our next is item H. This is a city manager department report, and this subject is COVID-19 update. Director of Emergency Services, and the recommendation that the City Council receive and file an update from the Director of Emergency Services on the COVID-19 local emergency, and to reauthorize remote teleconference meetings of the legislative body of the City of Oxnard in accordance with Assembly Bill 361. Mr. City Manager.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. First, I'd like to, on behalf of the city staff, I would like to extend our deepest condolences to you and your entire family for the loss of your younger brother.
Thank you. Yeah.
And I also certainly echo your sentiments encouraging anyone in our community who has not received a vaccination to do so. So for tonight, unfortunately, I am unable to focus on words on paper. So I'm going to ask the assistant city manager to walk through the COVID updates, and then the city attorney will take the second item on the update.
And Mr. City Manager, before we continue, we commend you for being here, with this eye surgery. I know it's one of the things that makes you a person that is really, really responsible and try to run our city. So we commend you. I commend you for that. I'm sure that the rest of the city council feels the same way.
Thank you, sir. So Ms. Golden, I'll advance the slides for you. Please proceed.
Thank you. So our first update is regarding Governor Newsom's extension of the COVID-19 state of emergency to March 31st, 2022. This extension will allow for the resources in case there's any new surges in COVID-19 cases over the winter time period. Our second update is regarding vaccinations for those ages 5 and up. Those ages 5 and up are now eligible for free COVID-19 vaccines. Appointments are recommended and they can be made at myturn.ca.gov or by calling 833-422-5255. Booster shots are also now available for those ages 18 and above. There is some criteria. First, if you had the Pfizer or Moderna vaccine, you need to have waited 6 months since your second dose. And if you had the Johnson & Johnson vaccine, you needed to wait 2 months since their first shot. Again, those appointments can be made at myturn.ca.gov. Regarding rent and utility relief, there is still funding available for 100% of rent and utilities to be paid. You can apply at housingiskey.com or by calling 833-430-2122. As part of the American Rescue Act plan funding, Council approved the Festival Comeback Grant. We did launch that today. So festival organizers have until December 29th of 2021 to apply for these one-time grants in support of bringing the festivals back to Oxnard. You can find more information on the city website at www.oxnard.org/comeback-grant. This Friday, November 19th, from 1 to 4 p.m., the city is hosting a job fair with the support of Oxnard College and the Chamber. That is from, like I said, 1 to 4 at the college, at Oxnard College, at 400 South Rose. As of this weekend, we had over 50 employers registered, and as of today, 75 job seekers registered. It is a free event and we're encouraging all job seekers to please come. We've got a great lineup of local businesses there. What day is that? Sorry, on Saturday, December 4th, we are launching a new program where city residents can drop off trash and unwanted items for free at the Del Norte Recycling Center at 111 South Del Norte Boulevard. As I said, this is a free program and it is the first. We will schedule additional drop-offs in 2022, basically on a 4 times a year, and there are additional restrictions listed on the city website of those items that we can accept. On Monday, December 6th, we will host our third public hearing related to the City of Oxnard redistricting process. At this hearing, interested members can come and learn about the new mapping tool, as well as how to submit maps for the council's consideration. On Saturday, December 11th, we're inviting the community out to an informational meeting on the Aquatic Center where they can learn about the Aquatic Center and also provide feedback. That event is at College Park, 3250 South Rose from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. It's a free event, no registration required. Really looking forward to having the community come out and learn more about this exciting project in South Oxnard. And this week, we have the council members that have submitted their recommendations. We have Mayor Zaragoza with Radio Laser at 200 South A Street. We have Mayor Pro Tem McDonald's recommendation of Keith's Auto Repair at 901 North Oxnard Boulevard. Councilman Perrello recommended The Shores Bar and Restaurant at 1031 Harbor Boulevard. Councilmember Madrigal recommended Boba Smoothies at 1941 North Rose Avenue, Unit 640. Councilwoman Basua recommended Lupita's Mexican Restaurant at 1641 East Channel Islands Boulevard. And Councilmember Lopez recommended Casa Agria at 701 North Del Norte Boulevard, Unit 360. So we did branch out from all just food recommendations. This time you can service your car, eat and drink, and have some music with it. So it's like you put together a party.
Thank you very much.
Is that the last slide, City Manager?
That is it. Thank you very
All right.
much. And now we'd like to move on to the second item. So I'll hand it over to the city attorney.
Thank you, Alex. And so the second item for the council on the COVID update is a reauthorization of the remote teleconference meeting allowance under the Brown Act as recently amended. And council's reauthorization would stay effective until the earlier of December 16 of this year, or as such time as the council adopts subsequent findings in accordance with the new government code provision, allowing these remote meetings to continue. So by reauthorizing the allowance for the city's legislative bodies to continue to meet via teleconference in compliance with AB 361, the new law, the City Council finds that it has reconsidered the circumstances of the state of emergency, and the emergency continues to impact the ability to meet safely in person, and state or local officials continue to impose or recommend measures to promote social distancing. So we would need a motion for the council to reauthorize the practice of remote meetings.
So moved.
Okay, second. But Mr. City Attorney, before we take a vote, do we have the 3-minute rule? I second that motion. So I'll second that motion, but before we take a vote, is there any council members that have any brief questions before we take the vote?
So that 3 minutes now would be running, and that's the time for if anybody wants to call in and comment on this.
Right.
Now's their opportunity to register.
Right. If there's any speakers, right now we do have the opportunity to call in, and you'll be allowed 3 minutes for any speakers that might want to share some information with us. So we'll go
Mayor?
to the 3-minute, and then we'll go ahead, Councilman Perrello.
Yes, a suggestion. Maybe we could run the phone number across the bottom of the screen, or every so often the city clerk could give the phone number to the public about what to call in. I just received a text about what number am I supposed to call. So just sharing that with the council.
Madam Clerk, can we go ahead and share that number?
Okay, and also if the people that wish to speak, someone who wishes to speak, has access to their computer, they can go to the city's website and look at the agenda or the agenda page that includes all the information and instructions on how to call in.
Can the clerk give the number?
Madam Clerk, the number that to call in. Is there any way we can put it up on the board or? That we'll do that in the future, but right now we'll go ahead and share that number.
The number is listed on the agenda, Councilmember Perillo.
Is that 888-475?
The number to dial is 888-475-4499. There is a meeting ID that needs to be entered, 889-9291-9547. And the passcode is 123695.
Thank you very much.
And in the future, we'll put it up on the board, you know, for, it's a good suggestion. So thank you. The motion was by Councilman Perillo and second by Councilwoman Lopez. And this item number 2 to reauthorize the remote teleconference meeting of the legislative bodies of the city of Oxnard in accordance with Assembly Bill 361. Roll call.
Mayor Pro Tem McDonald,
Yes.
Councilmember Perillo,
Yes.
Councilmember Basua.
Aye.
Councilmember Madrigal,
Aye.
Mayor Zaragoza.
Yes.
Councilmember Lopez.
Yes.
Thank you. Motion passes 6-0.
Thank you. Our next item is item I, is City Council agency directors. Do you have any members of the audience who'd like to, of the City Council that'd like to make any brief announcements and also to share with any future agenda items that they might like to place for future agendas? 3 minutes, council members. And let me see. Okay, Councilmember Madrigal, followed by Councilman Lopez.
Thank you very much, Mayor. First, my condolences on behalf of myself to your family during this tough time. Second of all, back to you, Mayor. I want to thank everyone who went to La Colonia Alley cleanup about a week and a half ago. I want to thank Mayor, Mayor's office, Luli, who got it all organized, and wonderful job. I want to thank all the organizations. I can't name them all because I'm scared that I'll miss somebody, and that's the last thing I want to do. I want to thank everyone that went out from the bottom of my heart. It was actually a great cleanup, great time bonding with community members, and overall, it was a good Saturday morning. Second of all, just kind of want to focus on, we as a community need to pay attention to things going on in our surroundings, not just here locally, but outside that actually do affect us. Things that we may not have control over, one of which I was very displeased with the supervisor maps. And I was more upset that the maps actually didn't come out till Sunday afternoon. That's when I found out. I did let Supervisor Ramirez know.
I was not happy with the response, but at the end of the day, you know, that meeting's going on right now. Remember, this is something that affects us for the next 10 years. Second thing, I was speaking with a college student, and you know, she was heartbroken. She does live in South Oxnard. She is going to be a graduating senior this year from college. And the thing that I most admire about her is that she wakes up every morning, 5:30 in the morning. Or actually, I'm sorry, she doesn't wake up at 5:30. She wakes up earlier than that. Well, she has to be at the bus stop at 5:30 in the morning to take a bus out to Thousand Oaks to attend school at Cal Lutheran. Unfortunately for her, that route is being canceled as of Monday. So now she does not have transportation to get to school. This being her senior year, I know she is crushed, and you know, people in the community are going out of their way to help her. But I find this displeasing and distasteful on behalf of VCTC. I will reach out and let them know. I'm just letting everyone know here as well. So overall, you know, there are things going on in our community. So please pay attention to what's going on. And lastly, I did attend the return of the food trucks in the downtown. It was a wonderful turnout, great event. Many people, many different organizations got that together. It was wonderful. I did see Mr. Turan, and then we had a great conversation. So, you know, as far as not meeting in public, it was great seeing people outside, and, you know, it's something that is very much missed. You know, it's great that we're able to have these meetings, but, you know, there is no body language in here. You know, it's hard for that perspective. And, you know, for all intents and purposes, no one could be paying attention right now as I speak. You know, all I see is 4 live cameras and then just empty boxes. So to that, you know, we need to find a way to communicate better, as not just necessarily here between council, but with staff as well. We need to do better than this. And other than that, have a wonderful rest of your evening.
Thank you, Councilwoman Lopez.
Thank you, Mayor, and I'll follow with Councilmember Madrigal to also express my condolences and very, you know, connected to, you know, us still, you know, over a year later, participating in these meetings virtually, but keeping the health of each other and the community in mind. But certainly we all miss those social interactions, and I do look forward to that time that we can meet in person, because the dynamics are very different. So, but thank you for that, Mr. Madrigal, as well. In the last couple of weeks, there's been a lot of activity. I think it's very noticeable throughout the community in many different ways. So I want to acknowledge the work that is being done throughout the city with the landscape and maintenance. You know, very often I'm driving down a road and there's the orange cones and safety signs that there's work ahead. So I think that's really great for our city, and we're seeing the difference. So thank you to all our staff involved in that process, and the 2 companies that are taking care of that work. I attended the Alzheimer's Association West Ventura County closing reception last week. They raised over $120,000 that will go towards research and education on Alzheimer's, which is a very critical disease for our community, especially our Latino community here. So I think that's really great work. I also attended the Ventura County Farm Day, which was really great opportunity. It's, I believe, on its 13th, maybe 8th year. I can't remember exactly, but I would like to encourage, and will definitely plan to share in advance next year to help get the word out, so that other residents can get out there and visit some of our local growers and see the agriculture side of our community in Oxnard. And then I want to, if anyone has missed the announcement, tomorrow evening at 5 p.m., the Ormond Beach Restoration partners are holding a public outreach meeting. It will be over Zoom, and they will be highlighting the preferred alternative and preliminary design plan. So if anyone is available, I hope you can join and learn more about the work that is being planned for Ormond Beach. And I believe that they will be sharing a live stream through their Facebook page. You can also visit the city's website to get more information. We have there's a special page for information on that. And lastly, my business recommendation is Casa Agria, located here in Oxnard. There's a little bit of everything for anyone. With COVID, they expanded outdoors, and so you can. There's plenty of seating indoors or outdoors. They have different food trucks coming in every day. You could take your pets, your dogs, and sit outside. So I think it's a great place to meet if you're looking for a break in the day, a break in the weekend. And lastly, just want to wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving, a safe one, and we'll see you soon. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Council members, I don't see any hands up. Councilman Perrello.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you. My condolences for your family and your loss to your brother, Mayor. Any family member is a tragedy. I'm sure he was a wonderful human being. The comments that I'd like to make, I had an opportunity to attend the ribbon cutting for the new runway at the Oxnard Airport. Chair for the Oxnard Airport Authority, Walter Calhoun, was there. Supervisor Long was there. Supervisor Ramirez was there. I was there. Councilmember Lopez, I may have had another obligation, but she also serves on the board, as well as the alternate public member, Eugene Fussell, was there. It was a well-attended event. Could have been a lot more attended, but it was a well-attended event. The introduction to the new Airport Authority General Manager, the Mike Powers from the Ventura County CEO's office, they made a presentation. They did discuss that they're willing to work with the neighbors and the concerns the neighbors have. I wish that more people had attended, seriously. I sent out the information, but sometimes you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. Last night there was a community meeting, a normal community meeting, and it had to do with a couple of items. One was the Diablo tacos. Another was a retail marijuana store in the Oxnard Shores area in that same shopping center. One thing that has struck me as a little funny, and I don't know because I staying out of it, but it was brought to my attention that the Diablo taco store was supposed to open in the same site as the marijuana store, and the signage sort of confused a lot of people that live in that neighborhood. And one of the other things that came up that I believe will not go away, this was a public meeting, lasted about 3 hours of public comment, very well run. I think we should be very proud of our city planning staff, the way they conducted the meeting. The only people that really got out of hand were one individual from the public. The issue about the proximity to residential homes, that is something that is going to be coming up. It was mentioned, Councilmember Lopez, that the driving around the city of Oxnard and seeing all the improvements, it is tremendous. It is tremendous to see the improvements that are going on. And every time I see that, I keep thinking, wow, why didn't we do this before? And the answer is right in front of your face. The reason was we had a general manager that pushed for something called Measure E, and the residents in the city of Oxnard supported Measure E, and they increased the tax to benefit us to get the city back on the road. There will be a food and toy drive on the first Saturday, December 4th, the first Saturday of December, December 4th, from 4 to 10 at Fisherman's Wharf. It's a food and toy drive. Food Share will be involved. Sparkle Life will be involved. And there's another organization. I couldn't read the third name on the road. There is a current issue of the Tri-County Century newspaper. It's like a weekly, and I can't get it to show up here, but I wish I could, because ladies and gentlemen, you ought to check it out. Number one, it's free. Number two, the story in there currently about the editor and his daughter getting on the list for a kidney transplant. Really good story. And along with that, he's asking for anybody that is considering, their term of life, what things go on and how things can come, just as the mayor's brother passed away. There will come a time when we all pass away. If we have an organ donor note on our driver's license, we can help somebody going forward in their quality of life. I can speak from personal experience. It is something to get years later a letter from somebody that says something that you were involved giving made a big difference in somebody's life. Please think about this in the holiday season. There's a lot more people driving under the influence. There's a lot more accidents. Today we had some more fatalities. There's another way to also help. Blood drives. You can help with blood drives. Items for future agendas. Beg your pardon. I also had the opportunity to attend the Veterans Day event in our park with Mayor Pro Tem McDonald and the Mayor Zaragoza. Well attended, very well attended. And the speeches were tremendous. And at the end of the speech, just one of the individuals, the main gentleman, asked, does anybody have any comments? And one individual was going to come up, and then he hesitated. And he spoke to me later. And he said that he wanted to make a comment. As a former Marine, he wanted to make a comment that this nation does not get in any more wars over oil, corporation profits, or political gain. And I told him that I would mention that at the city council meeting. I support that. I support that strongly. The items for future agendas. I'm appreciative of the work that is being done by the landscapers. Sometimes there is a little bit of quality difference when you drive by one landscaper contract and another one. And I'm curious how we're going to compare to keep them in line. Because I know that one of the other contracts that went out, I'm told, was a gopher control contract. And I'd like to get an update because I'm getting calls from residents, not just in District 1, about gophers. And I don't know what to tell them other than we're working on it. So maybe we can get an update on that. The community meeting was tremendously beneficial to me. I hope the rest of the councils get a time to watch it. I appreciate Councilmember Lopez informing me about the meeting coming up tomorrow night. And Mayor, I believe that's all I've got. And again, condolences to you and your family.
Thank you. Mayor Pro Tem.
I have no comments. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilwoman Basua.
Thank you, Mayor, and my condolences to you and your family for your loss. I want to go ahead and just talk about the restaurant that I picked for this week, for this council meeting, Lupita's Restaurant. It's a brand new restaurant. It just opened. It's in the Walgreens Shopping Center on Channel Islands and Rose Avenue. My husband loves it. He loves their breakfast burritos and burritos galore. So if you're in the area, please do stop by and support our local business. And I want to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving. I'm excited. I'm going to have my boys home from college, so I'm looking forward to that. And next week, I know most of the schools are going to be off, so I wish everybody a wonderful time with your families. And again, happy Thanksgiving. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you so much. I'd like to also share that my business recommendation for this week, as was shared earlier, is Radio Laser Broadcasting. They're located on 2nd and 8th Street, and I'm asking residents to support Radio Laser. They've been in Oxnard doing business for decades, and they have been. They are doing business here in Oxnard, and they also belong to the Downtown Business Association. As mentioned earlier, too, on November the 11th, we had a very, very successful Veterans Memorial Celebration in downtown Plaza Park. I want to thank the Oxnard Veterans Committee members. I want to thank Manuel Gonzalez, Joe Riveles, Jess Gonzalez, and everyone who was instrumental in this year's Veterans Memorial Celebration. Even though it's a small one, but it was pretty well attended. We had the farmers market there too that actually helped out too. I also want to thank Mayor Pro Tem Brian McDonald for being there, and his beautiful wife, Lorraine McDonald, for excellent rendition of God Bless America. Well, what a voice. I just really appreciated her. A very beautiful young lady and did a really good job. I also want to thank Councilmember Bert Perello for his attendance there at at the memorial. And also again, Martha Guion and Luli Lopez from the city manager's office, the Oxnard City Corps and Oxnard Peace Officers Association. And of course, all the veterans who attended the ceremony and our residents. Also attended numerous other events. And I'm just happy to share that in those events that Kip here in, it was mentioned by our council members that very, very good comments on the progress of our city, of our maintenance and operations and our management, and including our city manager. They're doing an excellent job for the city. And lastly, I want to thank the Colonial neighborhood, as Councilmember Madrigal mentioned, for the alley beautification held on November the 6th, which was a joint effort between the Oxnard Meetup and Cleanup with the Recreation Department. I want to thank Councilmember Oscar Madrigal for joining us in an effort to beautify the Colonial neighborhood. This alley beautification would have not been possible without the support of the CPOs or the CBs from the Port of Hueneme, 585 Luana, Oxnard Peace Officers Association, OPOA, and Terrell Harrison and his staff. Terrell, and I know he's here today, but your staff is just outstanding. They did an excellent job for us. Public Works, Parks, Streets, Environmental Resources. They provided, dumpsters, and they provided plastic bags. And of course, the resident of Oxnard. And again, as I mentioned before, from the city manager's office, Luli and Lopez and Martha Guion. And finally, as Bert Perella was talking, the individuals that spoke to us there at the Veterans Memorial, and I had Bill Winters, who was a neighborhood chair of the Kamala, also a disabled veteran who was there. I hadn't seen him for quite a while, but he says to save our pets, make sure that we save our pets, and especially during the holidays when we have fireworks and so forth, so please save our pets, which is really important. I was really happy to see Bill Winters there. And also like to share that Mr. Paul Lemos was nominated again as president of the Youth Baseball League here in Oxnard. And that's also as mentioned by Councilman Perello. I had the opportunity to attend the repaving of the Oxnard runway, another $14 million that was financed by the FAA, and they did an excellent job. And I want to thank Councilman Perello and some of the members of the Airport Authority and also Councilmember Lopez. With that in mind, thank you for allowing me to share a couple of words. And happy Thanksgiving to all, and thank you for the condolences from Councilman Perello.
Yes, I apologize, council members. I forgot this. Number one, somebody brought it up. Mr. McDonald's wife is a tremendous singer, and she did a great job on the songs that she sang. I forgot to mention the business that I'm supporting, the Shores. The food is very good. When the pandemic first started, there was an issue about being safe and stuff like that, but the food is very good. And the last comment, Mr. Bill Winters was a neighborhood chair. He was the chair of all the INCF. He's suffered a stroke.
That's
Ladies
right.
and gentlemen, take care of yourself. Things can happen. And my best wishes for Mr. Bill Winters, a hell of a guy, a heck of a guy who did a lot for the city. And he's still doing a lot for the city. And one note, there are two sites in the city of Oxnard that have become public dumps. One is at the corner of Cortland and Hueneme Road, and the other is at the corner of Ventura Boulevard and Rose Road. With the assurances of the mayor and I, we are going to get those things cleaned up. We're
Thank
not
you.
going to have somebody make our city look blighted when the tremendous works and the good deeds that are going by the taxpayers and the voters that supported Measure E, and have somebody bring it down. Thank you for letting me say that, Mayor.
And thank you for sharing that, because we are doing a lot of good work, and 98% of the people that talk to me are really, really happy, with what's happening now. And I just want to share that our city employees are really doing a great job, and our staff, and we need everybody to help us. The entire city is helping us out and making sure that we clean our city and make sure that we're very proud of it. Councilmember Madrigal, and followed by Mayor Pro Tem.
Thank you very much. Like Councilmember Perello, I made the mistake of forgetting the business that I recommended, and that would be Boba Smoothies. Boba Smoothies is at the Rose Shopping Center. It's been around for quite a while. I remember back in a few years back when I worked at Pacific High School, they were very generous and doing promotions with the school, with fundraisers and so forth. And since then, they've been a great business and somewhere that I frequent quite often. So that's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Before we continue with Mayor Pro Tem, I'd like to start off our 3 minutes to see if there's any speakers that'd like to speak on this item. Mayor Pro Tem.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just wanted to give a shout out to Keith's Automotive on North Oxnard Boulevard, owned by a gentleman by the name of Oscar. It's really nice to have a reliable and trustworthy mechanic to go to. And when I was a slightly younger person, most cars had 3 things you worried about: points, condenser, and spark plugs. And that was it. That's all you had to do. Now with all the computers on board and the electronics, it's just incredible. Having an excellent mechanic is a real asset. And I can remember taking a car out to jumpstart a friend's car. When I got there, I didn't know where the battery was. I had to call a dealership and ask them where the battery was. And they told me to look under the back seat, which sounds like a stupid place to put a battery to me, but that's where it was. So having an excellent mechanic that you can trust is a real asset. If anyone has the opportunity, stop in, say hi to Oscar, and check him out. So thank you, Mayor.
Yeah, and also I want to thank Gary Blum from the Farmers Market there for allowing us to work with him on that particular Thursday. But it worked out pretty good because some of the shoppers that were there, actually participated in the ceremonies and vice versa. Our veterans went over and helped out with the farmers market. And one of the things too that I also want to thank the Salvation Army for providing food and donuts and coffee and they did Salvation Army did an excellent job too in helping us there with the veterans ceremony. And I even forgot to mention too that after that evening I also attended the Knights of Columbus, the commander or the captain of the Point Magoo Naval Base Ventura County was a keynote speaker, and with excellent dinner that were at the Knights of Columbus and commending our veterans. Okay, so we have another 59 seconds before we do have any speakers on this item. Come in, Madam Clerk. No other speakers on this item.
No speakers.
Okay. So we went from 80, 90 degree temperatures down to about 67, about 40 degree difference there. So be careful, wear your coats, don't catch a cold with a difference in temperature. So I know it was 90. We broke a record the other day. I think it was 92, 93 degrees here in Oxnard. And this morning when I came to the office, it was about 50, 55 degrees. So quite a difference. So Madam Clerk, no other speakers on this item. Thank you. Our next item is, this is a review of the consent agenda item. And if we have any members of the City Council would like to remove any of those items to share. I have a couple of speakers who'd like to speak on this item, and also I have a young lady on item number 6 of the consent. And this is a resolution commending Lisa Marie Ayala for 37 years of exemplary service to the City of Oxnard. And we recommend that the City Council adopt a resolution commending Lisa Marie Ayala for 37 years of exemplary service for the City of Oxnard. It's one item that I like to pull out when we have an opportunity. Councilman Perrello?
Yes, I'd like to pull out 4, 5, and 8.
4, 5, and 8?
Yes.
4, 5, and 8. Okay, so let me start off with Lisa Marie. Mr. Terrell Harrison, do we have Lisa Marie? Are you on? And then we can have probably somebody from the library give us some comments too. Lisa Marie, 37 years.
Lisa, if you would please unmute by pressing *6 on your phone. Lisa Maria Ayala. Please unmute by pressing *6.
Listen, Sophia? Sophia, do you have anything to share about Lisa Marie? Sophia?
Sophia, please unmute by pressing *6.
Good evening, Mayor and council members. This is Sophia Kinsey, the city librarian. Would you like me to go ahead and say a few words about Lisa?
Yes, please, until maybe Lisa might be having some technical problem, but go ahead, Sophia.
Sure. Thank you so much for allowing me an opportunity to recognize Lisa for her years of dedicated service. For over 30 years, I've had the pleasure of working beside Lisa as well as supervising her. She's been a valued city employee and highly respected member of the library staff for over 37 years. Lisa started with the city in 1977 as a part-time temporary student trainee, and the following year she became a library page. 2 years later, she became a permanent library aide. And during that time, Lisa worked at the main library. She also worked at what we had in the past, a bookmobile. And she also worked at our mini library, which is now the Colonial Library. And Lisa always took initiative and maintained a very highly productive work habits. Lisa was a very fast learner throughout her library career, always willing to accept new assignments and responsibilities. She planned well and organized her work to meet the challenge of library service. Her coworkers have always admired her because Lisa looked for ways to improve the library. She helped the library through several migration projects, from the first move we made when we had a card catalog to a brand new computer system, to our recent migration just this year. In 1992, she helped physically barcode and prepare thousands of volumes to move the library on C Street, where the service center is now, to the new library on A Street. Lisa has probably touched every book in the shelves of the 3 libraries in Oxnard, almost 500,000 volumes. Her primary assignment has been in technical services, where she helped to catalog and efficiently ensure records were correct. Without Lisa, the public's experience with the library's online catalog would not be as robust as it is. She helped the public find materials in the catalog by making sure records were clean and accurate. I want to thank Lisa's family for sharing her with us for the last 37 years. As you can see, Lisa grew up in the library, starting with us as a teenager. Her work will impact the next generation of library users. And we will miss Lisa. I hope that she has a wonderful retirement with her family and her grandbabies. Thank you.
Thank you, Sophia. I'm sure that we're going to miss her, starting back as a student trainee in 1977. I was going to share, if she worked 37 years, she must have been pretty young when she started there. And Sophia, one of the things that we probably miss here in Oxnard is the bookmobile, because I remember that was very, very popular, the bookmobile too. And I hope that potentially one of these days we can probably reinstate that bookmobile again for our students. And also working in the Colonial Library, that's really, really important. I know it's a small library, but it's very used by quite a few individuals there. So we really want to thank Lisa Marie and thank her for 37 years of exemplary service to the City of Oxnard and Library, and wish her a lot of success in her retirement. Lisa, are you on?
Lisa, please try to unmute again by pressing *6. Mayor, I did reach out to Miss
We're
Lisa.
having technical problem, but Lisa, thank you and thank you. And I think Sophia did an excellent job in sharing all the things you've done for the last 37 years. That's a tremendous amount of long time. And thank you again for your exemplary service. Thank you. So, Councilmember Perrello, we have, I said item number 4, 5, and which was the other one? 8.
Sorry,
Okay.
4, 5, and 8, yes.
Okay. Start off with 4, and then we'll go 5 and then 8.
Okay, before that, I'd just like to also compliment the employee. In this day and age, people don't often stay 37 years with an employer. It's a heck of an accomplishment. Thank you very much for your work and service to our city. On item number 4,
Excuse me, Mayor. I did want to go ahead and let everyone know that Lisa would like to extend her gratitude for this acknowledgement. And she was not able to connect due to technical issues, but she did want to go ahead and say thank you for the recognition.
Thank you, Lisa. Thank you. Okay.
Thank you very much, City Clerk, for sharing that with us. Thank you.
Thank you.
On item number 4, it's a fire department item. I'm total in support of this. I want to just point out, sometimes as being a large city in the county, sometimes we look down on, the other smaller cities may not have all the various things that we do. But in this particular item, this very specific item, the city of Fillmore, one of the smaller cities in our county, did have their own battery-powered operated cutters and spanners, which the rest of this item is to get those type of equipment into the larger cities and the county's hands. And I think a shout out needs to go to Fillmore. You guys are ahead of the curve. Now, one of the things is Fillmore is on 126. And as they point out with this equipment, hydraulically operated, there's hoses and various things. 126 is a nickname called Blood Alley, a lot of fatalities. And I'm sure the city of Fillmore saw that. And that's probably why they did it. I don't know for fact, but I can imagine that. And a shout out to Fillmore. You're ahead of the curve. On number 5, I do have a question. With respect to the budget appropriation for the Powell Gymnasium South Wing replacement, this was a project that started and then it had to stop. And because of finding more problems in the roof. In the process of stopping, is the city incurring any penalties for requiring the contractor to stop the work? That's a question I have.
Yes, Michael Wolf.
Yeah, good evening, Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, members of the council. I'll have Steve Hallett address that question, please.
Thank you, Mayor and Councilmember Perrello. There were no penalties incurred as a result of the delays, just an increase in cost and time for the project to be completed.
Thank you very much, Mr. Hallett. I appreciate that. Thank you. And on number 8, this has been a long, sort of drawn out item. Dissolution of one CFD, creation of another one. I'd like to remind the public, the city of Oxnard City Attorney's Office was tremendously involved with the residents to make sure that what was created turned out to be very good. And a very big shout out to the City Attorney's Office, specifically Ken Roselle, and I believe Mr. Howlett worked with also all of the people that worked on this one. And I can't not say that. I had to say that tonight. Those are my comments, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. But before we continue, we have another, we've took care of Sophia. Sophia spoke on behalf of Lisa. So, okay. So then we're going to go into the 3-minute item, Madam Clerk. And in the meantime, we have item 1 to 13. And any council members, do you have any other brief clarifications, any questions from staff as we wait for the 3-minute items? And
so that's the Mayor, that's the 3 minutes for any member of the public that didn't register earlier to call in and sign up through the website now.
Yeah, I want to share that. If there's any of the speakers that we can.
Mayor, we have one caller.
One caller? Okay, we'll start off with one.
Hello? Public speaker, please go ahead and unmute by pressing *6.
Yes.
Hello,
Madam Clerk.
Yes, you're calling to speak on consent agenda items?
Yes, I am.
Okay, which item are you calling about?
I am calling on the item for the asphalt truck.
Okay, and your name, sir, please?
I am Gabriel Turan.
Okay, go ahead. You have 3 minutes.
Thank you very much, Madam Clerk. Good evening, Mayor Zaragoza and Mayor Pro Tem and council members. My name is Gabriel Turan, resident of the city of Oxnard in District 2. And I am speaking as a resident, and I just wanted to express my thanks to Public Works staff and all the staff who had put work into this item for the 2 asphalt truck purchases. And in looking into this and looking at the staff report, I see that the intention of this purchase is to have these 2 specialized trucks that are dedicated just to asphalt patching throughout the city. So all of the potholes and issues we have with our roads that have many blemishes or potholes in them, these trucks are going to help with the efficiency of filling those in and have a dedicated set of equipment and crew able to fill those even quicker than we are now. So I just wanted to take the opportunity to thank staff for their work on this and being responsive to what the residents of the city of Oxnard have stated around our road conditions. And I know we're working very hard to get our roads into the condition that everybody wants. And this is just another step towards that direction to patch things up until we can get them completely repaved. That is my comment. I appreciate the time to be able to do this. Thank you and have a good evening.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Ron. Council members, Madam Clerk, do we have any other speakers on this item?
No, Mayor, no more speakers. Thank you.
Council members, any other comments? Council Member Perrello?
Yes, Mayor. I asked the city attorney earlier in the day about the situation with Mr. Turan. I hope the city attorney can inform the public, because I'm sure there's got to be at least one person wondering why Mr. Turan's not sitting up here with us. So I would hope that sometime before this meeting ends, there can be an explanation. It's a very clear and understandable explanation, but I think it needs to be shared.
To briefly respond to that question, Mayor. Okay. So the ordinance that the council adopted in January of this year regarding how vacancies on the council are to be filled specified that a person appointed by the council to fill a vacancy would only do so until a special election that needed to be called was held. So that election, special election, occurred on November 2nd. So on November 2nd, the appointed term of Mr. Turan ended. And now we're in a limbo period where there is no, we haven't had certification of results of the special election of November 2nd. And I believe we're expecting to get that from the county by the end of the week. And then an item needs to be scheduled for the next council meeting to declare the results of the election. And then the person who's certified as the winner of that election would be able to be sworn in.
Thank you, Mr. City Attorney. Thank you. Okay, our 3 minutes are up, and I will entertain a motion to approve the consent items 1 to 13.
So moved.
Okay, Councilman Perrello first.
Second.
Second by Councilman Lopez. Roll call.
Councilmember Lopez,
Yes.
Councilmember Basua,
Aye.
Mayor Zaragoza,
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem McDonald,
Aye.
Councilmember Perrello,
Yes.
Councilmember Madrigal.
Aye.
Thank you. Motion carries 6-0.
Thank you. Our next item is a public hearing, item M1. And this is the public hearing, November 16, 2021, City Council item M1, Consolidated Annual Performance and Evaluation Report, CAPER. This is the time and place set for a public hearing on this item M1 Housing Department. Subject Consolidated Annual Performance and Evaluation Report, CAPER, for fiscal year 2020-2021. And the recommendations of the City Council: 1, conduct a public hearing to receive comments regarding the Consolidated Annual Performance and Evaluation Report for fiscal year 2020-2021 to be submitted to the United States Department of Housing and Urban Development Office of Community Planning and Development. 2, to review and file the City of Oxnard Consolidated Annual Performance and Evaluation Report for fiscal year 2020-2021. And we start off with the city clerk's certification of publication and any written communications, if any. Madam Clerk?
Yes, Mayor. There was a legal notice for this public hearing published in the Ventura County Vida newspaper on October 28th, 2021. And the city clerk's office did not receive any written communications on this item.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. The Housing Director, Mr. Ramirez, is in accordance with Measure M, posted a video presentation regarding this item. It is available to answer any brief clarifying questions council members may have before we take public testimony on this item. Council will then deliberate after the public hearing has been closed. Any questions, council members? Okay. Councilmember Perrella?
Yes, I appreciated the video presentation and the staff report, but I do have one question.
Okay.
On slide 15, at about 5 minutes and 35 seconds into this, Mr. Housing Director Ramirez made a comment about a small loan had been given, a small business loan to assist small business. Can there be an explanation of what that is exactly? And how does, and I have not had a question about this, but I would think that somebody, when they hear that, they might ask, how do I qualify for a small assist in this project? And I appreciate an answer, Mr. Ramirez. Thank you.
He can answer that question probably after the public comments.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Thank you. This is now I'm going to open the public testimony portion of the public hearing. Members of the public were invited to sign up to speak on this item on the city's website. And any person who did not sign up may do so now by following the instructions posted on the agenda in this meeting and at the city's website, oxnard.org/city meetings /. The speakers have 3 minutes to speak on this item. Madam Clerk, do we have any speakers at this point?
Mayor, not at this time, but we have set the clock for 3 minutes for public speakers to call in.
Okay, good. If there's no other speakers, we can have staff respond to questions or have council or commissioners begin their discussion on this matter for 3 minutes to allow any additional speakers to register or to be recognized, and then we'll close the public hearing. So, Councilmember Perrella.
Okay, the same question, the same question that I asked.
Director Ramirez.
Good evening.
Go ahead.
Good evening, Emilio Ramirez, Housing Director. Thank you, Councilman, for the question. There is an item identifying a disbursement of $15,272 on slide 15, labeled under economic development. That is part of an allocation that we did to the Economic Development Collaborative to offer small business loans and grants to businesses in Oxnard that were in recovery from COVID, and that is the amount that they have dispersed so far. That program is offering grants and loans up to $5,000 that could be merged or leveraged against other loans from SBA and banks so that the business can offer some level of recovery from COVID, whether it's new marketing plans or processing an application to allow the continuance of outdoor eating. The purpose of that is for recovery from COVID.
Thank you very much. Thanks for the information. Thank you.
Thank you. Any additional questions of Mr. Ramirez? this time. So we're currently, any other speakers, Madam Clerk? We got about 34 seconds before we. Okay, we got about 29 seconds. Any speakers would like to speak on this item? Right now is the opportunity. And if not, let me see. So Madam Clerk, no additional speakers.
No, Mayor, no additional speakers.
So then I'm going to close the public hearing at this time. Do any council members wish to share any additional comments on this item? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve the recommended action.
I have a
Councilmember
question.
Perrello?
Yes, in an attempt to help the city as best we can, I would like to ask a member of our council who works in this line of work. She's the head of the Wainini Housing Authority. Is there anything that you see in the staff report or the video presentation that we may want to focus on to, like a heads up, be aware, look at this, red light, green light, yellow light, anything that you see in that? Because I would really appreciate your experience and your expertise to help out this council member.
Any staff members? Basua, Councilmember Basua?
Thank you, Member Perrello. The presentation was great. Thank you. One thing that, kind of stood out is the first time home buyers program. But obviously, they haven't had much success with that, but obviously that has a lot to do with the economy and getting the people to qualify. I would just, one thing I would urge is that we might be able to focus on some of these programs that aren't really being, they're not, probably not benefiting some of our community members, but I'm sure that all has to do with programming, and COVID, I'm sure really took a hit as far as, the monies that can be used. As far as the emergency money that was used, it was used appropriately. COVID allowed the city to get additional money for these programs. And I think the Housing Authority has, been doing a great job as far as trying to push out the money. But definitely, I think COVID really took a hit on a lot of agencies. But overall, it was a really great report, very detailed. If you noticed in the slides, it said how much money was available, how much funding was used, and then how much was left over, how much was carried over. So that, again, great presentation, Mr. Ramirez.
Thank you, Councilmember Perrello. Mayor, may I offer response to Councilman Perrello?
Yes, go ahead.
Councilman Perrello, first of all, thank you, Councilman Basua, for your comments. And following up on the comments regarding homeownership, we do have a homeownership program, down payment assistance program. It works, but it's not as effective as it could be because the price of the home in Oxnard compared to the low income of a household they're just too high. And so in order for us to effectively work a down payment assistance program for a low income household, we have to contribute upwards of $200,000 to homeownership assistance. And the allocation that we get from HUD allows us to make like 2 of those loans. So it's not effective. It's almost more effective for us to just build a new house and sell it to them. So the economics of homeownership in Oxnard is what makes that program tough.
Okay.
Thank you.
Councilman Perrello, okay.
I'm good.
Thank you. Okay.
Thank you very much, Councilman Basua. Thank you.
Thank you, Director Ramirez and Councilman Basua. Okay, so we need a motion.
So moved.
Perrello first. We need a second.
I will second, Mayor.
Second by Councilwoman Basua. Roll call.
Councilmember Perrello,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem McDonald,
Yes.
Councilmember Madrigal,
Aye.
Councilmember Basua,
Aye.
Mayor Zaragoza,
Aye.
Councilmember Lopez.
Yes.
Thank you. Motion passes 6-0.
Thank you so much. And we've expended our 3 minutes also. Our next report, N1, City Manager Department. This is a resolution of the City Council of the City of Oxnard authorizing the city manager to refund employee givebacks to former employees. And the recommendation is that the City Council adopt the attached resolution authorizing the city manager to refund benefits givebacks made by the former city employees. And Mr. City Manager.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. This item is very straightforward and it is on here as a formality. So I want to just do a brief summary, and then if there are any questions, I'm actually going to ask our Human Resources Director, Mr. Steve Naveau, to respond, especially if there are technical questions. So you all may recall that at the outset of the pandemic, the economy was certainly very questionable. And at that time, our city budget was also extremely tight. So we made a request of our employees to give back what they were contracted to receive with regard to increased in health premiums. And after a little back and forth, the employees participated so that we could brace ourselves should the COVID economy have been worse. And as part of that agreement, we stated that if we should be made whole, if the economy rebounds and or if the feds should provide some support, that we would then return their money. So this item is important because A, it's important that we keep our word, and B, that we get the proper authority. And this only impacts 107 employees who are no longer with the city. They have since left for various reasons, including retirements and so on. But it is actually their money that they gave back to us. So this is not any new money coming out of our city budget. It is actually money that belonged to these employees. And while the amount of $92,000 is within my authority, I actually don't have authority to cut a check from the city to someone who used to be an employee. So we're doing this, again, number one, to keep our word to the employees, and number two, to get the proper authority. And that's why we are here. Thank you.
Okay, Mayor Pro Tem.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just wanted to thank the city manager and staff for making and remembering that we did have people that made these contributions along with the other employees that are still here. And I'm glad that we didn't forget them. Sometimes when people do something, then they retire, they kind of fall into that shady area where nobody thinks about them. So I'm really happy that we're making everyone whole that contributed to the wealth of the city or the health of the city. And I want to thank all the employee groups for being part of the solution, helping us out when times are rough. And I'm very glad that we're repaying that debt and thanking them properly for their contributions. So thank you for bringing this forward.
You know, also, I also want to thank our city employees for working with us, especially during the hard times, during budget hard times here in the city of Oxnard. I believe that we need to protect our employees and their families. You know, that's extremely important that we do so. And I want to thank them again, you know, for working with us. And of course, also for all the residents for helping us out with Measure E when we had the hard times. But I believe that they're our soldiers. They're the people that we need to protect. And thank you.
Mayor, if there's no further comments, I'll move a recommended action.
Okay, But we need to have four public comments. We'll come back to you, Mayor Pro Tem, but we have 4 public comments, and Councilman Perrella, you want to share something before we continue with it?
I'll listen to the public comments.
Okay, go ahead.
Mayor,
Go
I'm
ahead.
setting the clock for the 3 minutes. We
the
do
3
not
minutes.
have any public comments
Okay,
at the moment, but I am setting the timer.
okay,
Yeah,
thank you.
so if people want to call in and register to speak, now is the time to do it. You have 3 minutes.
Thank you. Okay, Councilman Perrella?
Okay, I had an opportunity to speak today with the Human Resources Director. I did not speak with the city manager on this matter. I'm very grateful that the city's word matters. It's like an old cowboy movie. They shake hands and it's supposed to mean something. We made a promise to people. We asked them, and it was bumpy, asking them to give back because we were facing potentially layoffs. And we asked them to assist so we wouldn't have layoffs. And after a period of, discussion among the bargaining units, there was an agreement to assist. And they did not take any pay cuts. They took they were not given the increase that they were contracted to. And with that, I'd like to bring to the attention of the council. 2 people did agree to do a cut. One of them is a council member, but the other one was a city manager. And I heard the issue that I heard was their money, everyone's whole, no cuts, repay the debt. Our city manager took a $25,000 hit. And when we're talking about making everybody whole, we're in a different situation than we were then. I think that the people that took the cut should be made whole, myself included. And if Mr. Navu wants to come forward and bring the information that I asked him to be prepared to give forward, I welcome him to do that. But I really think that if we look at the world and we look at when you go to the grocery store and you buy something, they don't look at you as, well, let's see, you can afford to pay a little bit more for this, or you're going to pay a little bit less by the cut of your jib, or the wear of your clothes, or the color of your skin. But when you have a contract, and we have a contract for a general manager, and we are now paying him less than what the contract was, he made the decision, granted. But if we're going to make people whole, he counts. He counts. This councilman decided to give up 25% of his pay. I thought it was something like solidarity. And when I then learned of some of the discussions with the bargaining units and how it was going back and forth, I'm like, I was very surprised. But I'm very grateful that this has come up, because I did learn today from the human resources person also, 2 people have died, and we're making arrangements to make sure that those people that have died, their families or their estates receive what they're entitled to. Because as Mayor Pro Tem mentioned, we're making everyone whole. I'd like that to mean something. And if it means something on a future agenda item, I would hope that we would do that. Those are my comments, Mayor. Thank you.
I know, I believe too that many city managers and many CEOs and of other agencies, smaller agencies than ours, get paid 2-3 times more the amount that our city manager does. And we're a city of 200,000+ people and a budget of $600-some million. And I believe that we need to compensate our city manager, our staff, our people accordingly. If we don't, we're going to lose those people. We're going to lose them to other agencies. And I just want to share with you, when I was with the Board of Supervisors, we asked all the employees, all the bargaining units at that time to give up 3% of their wages and so forth. And they complied, but we promised them that when the good times came around that we would reimburse them. And those promises, I think, there's promises that we need to keep, with our employees. And I think I commend I wasn't here when that happened. I commend Mr. Nguyen for actually cutting $25,000 of his pay, you know, and you too, council members, give 25% of your pay. And to me, that is commendable. And I think that we need to live up to our word, to make it good, to refund a lot of those benefits that they were shared at that time during the hard times that we had here in the city of Oxnard. And I would, if that's the motion, I would recommend that we bring that back. It's probably not an agenda item, but something that we can bring back to the city council.
Mr. Mayor and Councilmember Perillo, I appreciate these sentiments, but you are making me a little bit uncomfortable, and I only have one good eye tonight, so I can't afford the other one to pop out. The only thing on this agenda tonight before you is the resolution authorizing me to refund the employees for their givebacks. So I hope we can stick to that agenda item, please.
So, Mr. City Attorney, then can that item be brought back with and not have any more consideration, talk about that?
That would need to be on a future agenda item.
For a future agenda item, we
Yeah,
can bring
so
that.
what's before you is the benefit refunds to former employees.
So we exhausted our 3 minutes. Do we have any speakers on this item, Madam Clerk? And because we've already used our 3 minutes.
No, Mayor, we do not have any public speakers on this item. Thank you.
Okay, so we'll need a motion on this item and then we can discuss the other item.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, I'm sorry, who's the first?
Me, Brian.
Brian, okay. And second by Perillo. Roll call.
Mayor Pro Tem McDonald,
Aye.
Mayor Zaragoza,
Aye.
Councilmember Perillo,
Yes.
Councilmember Madrigal,
Aye.
Councilmember Basua,
Aye.
Councilmember Lopez.
Yes.
Thank you. Motion passes 6-0.
And before I go to the next item, I would like to have that item come back as per that we discussed, Councilman Perillo, about regarding the city managers and other individuals, potentially council members too, that need to be reimbursed. Thank you. Okay, we've exhausted our 3 minutes too. Our next item is the city treasurer, and this is city treasurer quarterly investment report for the period ending September 30th, 2021. The recommendation is the city council receive and file the quarterly report for the period ending 30/2021. And this item did not originate in committee. And the contact person is Mr. Molina. Do I have any questions of Mr. Molina at this time? Okay, Councilman Perillo.
One question. I appreciated the presentation and the power slides. I just have one question. With respect to the presentation that showed the income, and it says parking citation update, and it has a cash amount. I'm wondering, is that a cash that we actually have in hand, or are those IOUs citations yet to be collected? And I do appreciate Mr. Molina giving credit in the second paragraph. He first states, but first, I wish to give a special thanks to Eden Olamary, Assistant City Treasurer of the city, and staff whose assistance this report could not be generated. Classic. Thank you, Mr. Molina.
Yeah, Mr. Molina.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Mr. Mayor, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. What you see before you, if slide number 2 is brought up, is the the actual cash balance in the 4 different bank accounts that the city has with Bank of America. And if you know Bank of America as well as I, and my first management job was with the largest industrial bank in Chicago, they will not place a dollar amount in your bank statement unless they can actually look at the dollars and feel them. So rest assured, and it was verified again today, that the $206,340.99 in the parking citation bank statement is in fact correct. And I did say updated because I think there was a typo in one of the previous months, and I wanted to bring that corrected to you. I hope that answers your question. If not, please let me know.
Yes, it does. I mean, I wondered. Thank you very much, because I figured it was like an IOU. Thank you very much, Mr. Molina.
Thank you,
That's my
Mr.
question.
You have a good day.
Thank you, Mr. Fraser. So do we have any speakers on this item? We have 3 minutes to allow any additional speakers, if any, on this item. And then, so we have any council members to continue to elaborate or ask any questions of the city treasurer as we wait for the time to go by. Okay. And thank you, Mr. Molina, for the report too.
Yes.
Mhm. Madam Clerk, any speakers?
No, Mayor, we do not have any speakers on
Well,
this
I want to
item.
wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving.
Mayor, I'd like to thank staff for the beautiful rendition of Boogie Woogie. Company B.
That's your city manager, and he's had a surgery in his eye. Can you believe it? He's still having a good time. I want to thank our city manager for being here today, for being so brave after that surgery in your eye. And happy Thanksgiving to all, and we are adjourned. Thank you so much.
Night all.
Thank you. Thank you.